All right, so Yankees-Royals, ALDS, Game 4. Let's dive in. Big game, obviously huge for anyone looking to make some money on this one. We're going to, go beyond just like, oh, this team's favored. We want to get you those little edges, to make those smart bets.
Yeah, no doubt. The energy around this series right now, it's
Yeah,
electric, especially with, the series at 2-1. Game 4 always feels like a turning point. This one feels like it could really swing the momentum.
totally. And you've got the Yankees coming in hot on that win streak. They've been, looking really dominant. And, I mean, our sources all point to that. The odds makers seem to agree. The Yankees, favored on the money line, favored on the run line, they're looking good.
Oh, statistically, they're the darlings for
Yeah.
sure, especially with, their history against the Royals. But, one thing that I'm seeing that might give a savvy better, just a little bit of pause is they're against the spread performance. A little shaky lately. They're around, 60% to win, according to the odds makers, which is good, but not a lock, right?
Yeah.
So there's something to unpack there.
Right. So the Yankees, they're strong, but maybe not invincible, right? What about those Royals, though? Coming in as underdogs and, their recent performance, especially at home, it's been a little iffy.
Yeah, Kaufman, their home record at Kaufman hasn't been pretty. And they're not exactly known for, pulling off these underdog wins this season. But here's where it gets a little interesting, right? They've been exceeding expectations as underdogs recently. Winning more than you'd think. And get this, even more intriguing, they've been consistently beating the spread in those games.
Okay, so the Royals, exceeding expectations. I like it. Can their pitching keep up, though? Let's talk about Game 1. Neither Jarrett Cole or Michael Wacha had an outing to write home about.
Yeah, you're telling me. 3 earned runs each. And not exactly over a dominant stretch of innings either, but here's where you got to separate the wheat from the chaff, right? Cole, historically, has had the Royals number. I mean, his career ERA against them will tell you that. However, and this is where it gets interesting, Wacha at Kaufman. Different story. Home field advantage is real, and his ERA at home, well, it's something to watch.
So, clash of styles, right? We've got Cole with the experience advantage and Wacha with that home field magic. Classic duel. But what about the offenses? Can we expect some fireworks, or are we going to be like, sweating out each run?
The million-dollar question, right? I mean, these teams can rake, we know that. But they've also shown some cracks in the armor this series. The Royals' offense at home, really quiet. And even the Yankees, with all their weapons, they haven't been their usual, explosive selves.
So we've got a good one on our hands, right? Yankees, statistically, they're better, but haven't really shown it yet. Royals, defying those expectations, but struggling to put up runs at home. Let's dig into some of these betting trends a little bit more, huh?
Let's do it. One that caught my eye right away, the over-under, sitting at 7.5 runs. Now, the Yankees, they've been hitting that over a lot lately. Royals, not so much. More of those, like, low-scoring nail-biter type games.
Interesting. Over-under is fun, but for people who like to get a little more granular, what about that run line? Yankees favored by a Megaphone 5, but from what I'm seeing, there's some hesitation there, no.
For sure, and it kind of all comes back to Judge. The guy's a beast, we know that, but this ALDS, he's been oddly quiet, batting, what, .143? Something like that.
Oof. Yeah, not great. Trouble finding a swing. Makes that run line a little spicy, to say the least. Okay, so switching gears just a tad, what about those late innings? Bullpens could be a factor here, don't you think? Especially in a big Game 4 like this.
Now you're talking strategy. And actually, yeah, some of our sources suggest that Weaver at the Yankees closer, he might be spent after that Game 3 save.
Could make things interesting if their bullpen's a little shaky.
Uh-oh, yeah, that's never ideal. Got to factor that in. Speaking of factors, one expert from Brett MGM, right, they pointed out that during the regular season, the Yankees had a plus 18 run differential against the Royals. That's a pretty substantial gap.
No denying that.
Good.
Speaks to their firepower, They've consistently scored on the Royals. But, and this is where it gets tricky, Watch's regular season ERA might be a tad misleading. His expected ERA, which, takes into account the types of contact he's giving up, was actually a fair bit higher. So, yeah, he's been lights out at home, but there's a chance the Yankees could figure him out.
Okay, so Watch's performance, bit of a wild card then. On the flip side, we've got this Royals offense, and they have been ice cold at home. Like their OPS over their last 7 at Kaufman, brutal. Yeah, it's been rough. Those bats have gone silent. But, and I hate to keep saying it, but we got to remember, the Royals are kings of exceeding expectations, especially as underdogs. They've surprised before, and this is the playoffs, baby. anything can happen.
Man, it's wild, isn't it? I mean, one game, and we're talking stats, trends, even like the little quirks of these pitchers. But I gotta say, there's gotta be more to it than just numbers, right? What about the human element, the story behind it all?
Oh, absolutely. The Royals are, let's face it, they're up against it, down 2-1. But you know what they say about underdogs, right? Nothing to lose. That can be dangerous, man. Dangerous.
Especially with the home crowd behind them. Speaking of dangerous, our sources seem to think the Royals' chances might just come down to one guy, Bobby Witt Jr. He's been their rock this series.
Witt? Oh, yeah, he's their spark plug, no question. If he gets hot, look out. The rest of that lineup could catch fire. Yankees, though, they're the ones with the target on their back, right? Lose this one, Game 4, and suddenly the momentum shifts.
Big time. So, all right, let's bring this home. For those of you placing bets, where do we stand? Feeling lucky. Royals on the money line, plus money. That's tempting. They've defied the odds before, and hey, everyone loves an underdog story.
On the flip side, you got the Yankees, all that experience, the pitching. I mean, that run line, even with Judge's struggles, it's enticing. And then there's the over-under. Always in play with these two lineups, especially if those bullpens are a little tired.
You know what? This is one of those games where, yeah, the stats say one thing, but the vibe is different. Yankees, on paper, they're better, but the Royals, they've got that fight, that home field advantage. It's going to be good.
At the end of the day, sometimes the best bets, the most satisfying ones, they're the ones where you just trust your gut. You've looked at the numbers, you've considered all the angles, and you just go for it.
And that's what this is all about. Giving you the knowledge, getting you thinking, maybe even sparking that gut feeling. Now go out there, place those bets, enjoy the game. This is going to be one for the...
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother...